How's it going? 30-minute mechanic, episode 21, I think it is now. And I'm just cranking them out. Today, I think we're going to try to get the fuel rail off and get the injectors out. And then probably this weekend, I'm going to get some more brake clean. I'm going to clean up a bunch of parts so they'll all be ready to go back together. I'm not going to video cleaning stuff because I hate cleaning stuff. And I'm sure you don't want to sit there and watch me clean stuff. I don't figure that's really great content. So not going to video the cleaning stuff. But today we're going to try to get those fuel rails off and maybe get the other injectors back in. I don't know. We'll just kind of see how it goes. So let's dive in. Let's go. All right, now yesterday I think my phone was overheating, and that's what was causing it to shut off while I was videoing. I think I had just been charging it before I came out to the shop, and I think the battery was already hot, and then running the camera heats stuff up. So I think that's what was causing it to shut off. So maybe we won't have any problem with it shutting off today. All right, let's dig into this thing. I think we unplug some injectors first, and maybe that can expose what we want to see a little better. That one doesn't want to come. There it goes. Come on, get there. Well, there we go. That one's off too. Trying not to get a little bit of stuff in the nail cleanup. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but I don't know who did this, but they took two hoses. Maybe there's something inside there. I don't know, but there's two hoses connected together with two vacuum hoses connected together with electrical tape. Now, I don't know how that, there's a leaf. I don't know who did that. I don't know if that was previous owner or if that was Jake. I don't think it was Jake. I don't think he would. Look, there's an extra bolt. I don't think he would have done that. Look at that. Found a free bolt hiding down there. That's a crusty sucker. You stick it over here. All right. I think those injector bolts that hold the injector rail on, I think that might be a 10 millimeter. Let's grab our 10. We know, since we have the 10, because after couldn't find it, and it ended up being stuck to the magnet on my drop light. So if you, that is definitely not a 10. Maybe that's a 5/16. Size. My eyeball size checker is not doing too good. Look at that, it is. 5/16 or 8 millimeter, one or the other. It's pretty close. Get the little guy out of there. Bolt box. There's another one right here. It comes out. Maybe. It's out. Those two are out. Let's jump to the other side. See if we can get those out. Unplug our injectors over here. Now, you know, Mustangs are sequential EFI. Now, our micro squirt will not be sequential. It's batch fire, so it's bank to bank. Oh man, you know what? That has a crossover line that goes behind the distributor. I knew there was a crossover line in the back, but I did not know there was one in the front. This may, what the heck? It's a different size. I think that one's 10 millimeter. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's where this bolt came from. Nope. Let's see. Maybe that's a 10. I don't know. Maybe a 3/8. 10 goes on it. So, yeah, our microsquirt will be batch fire, bank to bank. I don't know which cylinders they've put on each bank when they wired it together. Doesn't really matter. I mean, what we're doing, sequential is not of any real benefit. Now, if you're going for emissions and fuel economy, sure, sequential is make a big difference. How am I going to get that out without pulling a distributor out? I'm not sure that I am. Well, maybe that cap and cap adapter will come off. We'll have to look at that in a second once I get this other. To get this out, we'll look at that. In the bolt bin. Okay. Let's pop that cap off. I would rather not disturb the timing on this thing. Rotor out. There's a, see if I can get me a Phillips screwdriver. Got some parts back on my green for my green car today. I may have to show you all that in a little bit. Now that I have pieces back on it, I'll be able to start doing some work on this car a little bit and then do some work on the other car. Do a little 30-minute mechanic on the Greenbean. Yeah, cap adapter off. Let's just move all this ignition. Get over there. Come on. What is happening? There we go. Come on, pluggy wires. Let go. We'll just move all these guys over here to the staging area on the floor. Okay. That. Well, I might not try to pull that. Might not try to pull that rail all the way out, just enough to get the injectors in and out. They might have enough wiggle room there. That's not what I need. I need something to kind of pry with. Let me get a big screwdriver. As everybody knows, a screwdriver is really a pry bar. See, oh, there's still fuel in there under pressure. That was completely unexpected. Not much pressure. Can't be much pressure. Nothing showing on the gauge. No pressure now, but there's gas leaking out everywhere. I need to pop these off just a little bit here. You know what? Maybe I should come around to this side. Well, let me just move you around to the other side. Hold your horse. For station identification, we're back. Here we are. Now, that really leaked out more gasoline than I was expecting. I guess those rails hold quite a bit. Let me stick a little rag down there and just kind of sop that up. Not that it's going to hurt anything. Actually, Mike cleans it. Hey, that lower intake is in Edelbrock too. I guess it makes sense that it would be because it has square holes in it, not round ones or oval shape like the old Mustang, normal Mustang lower intakes were. Yuck. It's kind of disgusting. Let's throw that over there with the rest of the disgusting stuff. All right. Got more fuel leaking out. Kind of wiggle these off the top here. Come on. There we go. There's more gas. Gas everywhere. Really interested in pulling these out. I'm pretty sure these are 30-pound injectors. Ow. So double check that number. Yeah. Injectors have a part number right there. You probably can't read that. This is actually helping me read it. We might Google them. I think they're 30-pounders. Not really big enough for what we're doing. I just poured gas on my finger. I need something to put these in for the time being. Can't remember where I put my... There they are. May just set them on my workmate over here. We finished pulling those out. It's going to take a little cleanup around where these things go in. We'll take care of that. Come on, injector number. Now here's a tip. You take injectors out. This one didn't do it, but you pop them out. Make sure the O-ring comes out, because sometimes the O-ring gets stuck in there if they're hard to pull out, and the O-ring pops off and stays in the manifold. And just make sure it comes out. And then they're not hard to get out of the manifold, but they can cause problems if you don't realize it stayed in there. Wish I could find wish these had like a date code on them, like what year they were made, because they look like they've been on here a while. That was kind of gross. I'm gonna have to get all that gross down in the injector bung. Okay, those 4 are out. Just carefully wipe. I guess one good thing about spilling fuel right here is it helps me clean up what I'm trying to clean up. Come on, together. That one's particularly gooey. Not sure you can see that, but I'm not sure I want you to see that. Dip that in the gasoline a little bit and use it to my advantage. There we go. Actually looking pretty good now. Don't know if I'm going to put the other injectors in today. Really wish I had some. I ran out of brake clean yesterday. I used it all up spraying at the back there. I may wait till this weekend to actually put the injectors in here. But this gasoline cleanup method is not too shabby. Of course, I wouldn't clean parts normally with gasoline, but it's already sitting here, so it's a one-way ticket. There's something else hiding right there. It's a one-way ticket. Cleaning things with gasoline is not a great idea. I mean, just using a bucket of it or something. As a kid, I saw a guy's garage catch on fire. I didn't see it catch on fire, but we followed the fire trucks to his garage because it was on fire because he was cleaning Harley Davidson parts with gasoline and barbecued his entire house. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're doing some good here. We don't have to get this perfectly clean down in here, but I just would like to get some of that goo kind of cleaned up. I mean, it won't be able to be, you won't see it when everything's together, but I'm here. Oh my gosh. The big old blob just fell on the fender. But if you ever got to come back and work on it later, might as well get stuff kind of clean now while we can access it. Yeah. Okay, this side's looking much better. I think I'll save the rest of it for when I have brake clean. I pretty much sopped up all my gasoline over here. Now, I'm going to jump over to, hey, don't fall in there. There's a big old dirt nugget that was about to fall in the injector hole. Okay, let's hop over to the other side. Get those injectors out. It may be a little more difficult with the heater hose hootenanny shooting through there. Heater hose hootenanny. How do you like that? That's a new ism, a new James-ism, I guess. Let's see, what do I do with that big screwdriver? I mean, what do I do with that big pry bar? Let's see if that'll slip up. Come on. There we go. That moved up. Let's see if this will move up. Come on, come on. Yeah, we puked a bunch of fuel out over here too. Interesting. Okay. One injector. Just lay it up here on the core support with the rest of them. Come on, get out of there. Just do it. Come on. That one. Yes, not. There we go. Well, I just wiggled everything, didn't I? So I could raise that whole deal. Oh, man, I just dumped a bunch of gas out the other side. That actually works pretty good there. Come on, get out of there. O-rings actually look pretty good. I don't know how long these have been in here. I think they've been in here quite a while, but O-rings are still soft. They're not all crusty and hard. Okay. Grab another paper towel here. Need to get me some more shop towels. Those blue ones, they cost a little bit, but they work really well. Boy, a lot of gunk on that one. Clean off the top here to start with. Now, I researched a little bit about the PCV valve, and I'm definitely going to plug it somehow. Not sure how. I don't really want it for this car. We'll maybe put a vent on the valve cover. for, oops, what am I tripping over here? Or something. I'm probably a vent or a catch can, or probably just vent the valve cover. That worked well in my standard in the 83, my other car. Question is how to put it in these valve covers. These is die-cast valve covers at Ford. They did, actually, I don't think they came on SN 95 cars. What in the heck? That is one heck of a deep hole. You know, Brock, all kinds of weird stuff. Give me another rag. I think those die-cast ones came on these. Was it sure as heck hits the alternator when you try to get... That didn't get videoed. Y'all missed that. The epic struggle of me trying to get the valve cover off next to the alternator and the transmission dipstick and the heater hoses. They got shut out. They got cut out yesterday because of the battery. So far today, it looks like our battery's doing pretty good. We got that all kind of cleaned out. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Looks better. Well, the top of our runners is still pretty gross. But it'll wipe that off. Come on. Telling you, if I had my way, I would take off. You know what? I don't have the visor on. That's why sweat is dripping in my eyeballs. Visor engaged. Let's see how this works. Well, what I was saying, if I had my way, I'd drain the coolant out of this thing and I'd take those heater hose tubes out of there. Okay, I think I'll save the rest of the cleaning for when I got some brake clean. And let me try to pull that. See if we can pull that PCV valve out of there. It's going to jam back up in here. See how tightly it fit. Oh, didn't fit very tightly at all. See, there's that little guy. Hose is just barely on it. It doesn't seal up very good. That's not really what I want. Nope. Not at all. It does rattle. You can hear it rattling. So it does flop up and down in there, but gosh, no telling how old that thing is. There's a rubber. It's kind of a rubber stopper. Rubber deal back in there. I don't know if I can get my hand in this direction. Rubber deal, but I can't. The rubber deal back in there that the PCV plugs into. And some guys say they just stick the PCV back in there and put a cap on it, and I call it good. Other guys have put a 1 1/8 inch freeze plug in there, core plug, whatever you want to call it, frost plug in that hole and tapped it in. But I mean, that'd be all fine and dandy. That'd be a great idea if the intake was not on the motor. If it was out, it would be okay. But I don't know if I could get anything back in there to tap it in. Let me see if I can just wiggle that thing out of there and see what kind of condition the rubber. Yeah. Kind of rubbery, kind of plasticky. That's what it looks like right there. It just whoop, jams in there, and then the PCV valve slips in there. It's not nearly as soft as I would hoped it to be. I really thought these were probably softer than this, but maybe not. It's kind of hard. Maybe I can clean up that hole back there. Maybe what my plan should be is to clean that hole and then, yeah, maybe get same. I may clean the hole in the block and then find me something that'll fit down in that hole pretty tightly, and RTV, then put me a good nice little bead of RTV on and squish it in there and just let it sit, let it seal up and dry. That may be my course of action there. Problem is finding something to fit in that hole. That may be a job for another day. That is not nearly big enough. I think it's like 3/4 of an inch. Oh, talking about sizes. My return line down there, I kept saying a -12 to a -8 adapter. Well, it's not a -12. It's -10. Haven't ordered the adapter yet, but I was like, wasn't sure if that was a 10 or a 12. I was thinking it was a 12. Nope, it's a 10. So I need a -10 to -8 adapter, which I'll order one of those at some point. Got a couple of things in my cart on Summit Racing. That's one of them. Okay, injectors are out. That thing's kind of cleaned up. I need more brake clean to kind of clean the rest of that stuff up. I'm going to Google the part number on these injectors and see what I come up with. They have a green band on them, which I don't really know what color band means what. But is that a Ford? Does that say? No. Can't read it. Can't. Well, I got my readers right here. What am I doing? Oh boy, yeah. D1720AA. The other side is 621020. I don't know. I think Jake looked those up right after he got this car and they were 30 pounds. But tell you what, let's grab one of these other injectors. All right, I'm gonna put this on. Zoop. Well, that is not the button I meant to hit. That one is. All right, these injectors that were in there. There's only 7 here because I've already got one on the other table over there. The ones I'm putting in look like this. I'll put that right there in the middle. It's a GT500 injector. Ordered these several years ago from Tasca Ford. They're legit motorcraft. I don't know. I've seen different ratings on them, from 55 pounds to 62 pounds, or actually I've seen it from 52 to 62. And all, some places call them 55s, whatever. I mean, they're going to be plenty big for what we do. But I got a whole bag of them. They use the new style connector. Oop, get that in frame. They use the new style connector, so we have an adapter that plugs into the old style harness. And yeah, that's what we're going to be putting in. I'm going to have to probably scavenge some. These don't look like any of them have O-rings on them, so I'm going to have to come up with O-rings somewhere. I'll probably reuse a bunch of these. These O-rings really feel pretty good, as long as I can get them off there without horking them up. So yeah, may test fit one in there. May do it on this side because I can see better. Y'all can see better. So let me grab one. I'll throw a couple of O-rings on it, and we'll see how it fits in there. Yeah, I don't know how well you can see that. Kind of limited by my camera equipment and the angles I can get. Let me get a pick here. Well, once upon a time I had a pick. Man, that won't work. That's like a hook. Well, we'll use a... Ah, there it is. Okay. Yep. Let's grab a couple of these O-rings off of here. This little pick like that. Works great to get right under the edge of the O-ring. And just work it off. Let me see if I can wiggle that one on there. Boop. Wiggle that one on there. Boop. That seems to fit okay. Hey, look. Good. There we go. Some O-rings on there. And probably a good... Normally I don't do that. But sometimes you can lube them up with a little saliva. I usually use like Vaseline. Well, that is a tight-fitting jean right there. There it goes. Okay. Yeah. It goes in pretty snug. It'll go in easier. Oops. It'll go in easier when I put a little Vaseline on there. Use Vaseline or motor oil. Unless I just horked up that dude. Nope. Nope. Didn't. Good. I think that'll work. I think that'll work good. Keep down there. I do like Ford's injector bung holes because they have little lips for the O-ring to seat on. Some stuff doesn't have. Well, like when you put injector bungs in a manifold yourself, they don't have that little lip for that thing to sit on. I like that little lip. Yeah, it doesn't mean nothing to y'all. All right. Well, I'm happy about that. Looks like they're going to fit in there just fine. The reason I want to check that is on the other car, with bungs that didn't have the lip. Well, yeah, without the lip. These injectors, of course, these are real skinny here. These are real fat. I had a problem on the other car of the injector. When the fuel pressure came up, the injector would go and mash down farther into the bung and then pop out. The O-ring would start to pop out of the rail. So I ended up having to take the rails, re-drill the holes in the rail, the mounting holes, to sit lower on the injector. So when the fuel pressure came up, well, so I could smash these down farther into the bung, and then the rail would sit down farther over the top of these. And I don't think it's going to be a problem with these. That injector is actually just a little longer. It's hard to tell in the video, but O-ring to O-ring, it's just a little bit longer. They say they're the same size, but yeah, okay, they say it, whatever. All right, that makes me a happy guy. We've had some good success today. We've learned a lot, seen a lot, not done a whole lot. You know, my standard saying is I didn't do much, but I did more than nothing. That's kind of the 30-minute mechanic mantra. I didn't do much, but I did more than nothing. I might try to repeat that a little bit. That'd make a good t-shirt if I ever had merch. You know, that merchandising is where the money is. At least that's what they said on Spaceballs. And I'm rambling now. So let's move on to something else. Now, this is the something else. Not going to work on this today, but I'm going to show it to you a little bit. This is my 98 Mustang GT. When I bought it, it had a blown up 4.6. I think I have a little video on on YouTube about this somewhere that I made a long time, not a long time ago, but a while back. Not the greatest, but anyways, that's before the whole 30-minute mechanic deal. What we got here is the epitome of project creep. The whole plan for this car was originally to pull the broken 4.6 out, stick a naturally aspirated 460 in it, run it off the EEC5 ECU, and maintain power steering, brakes, the air conditioning, cruise control, all that goody stuff. Okay, well, as this car I've actually never even driven this car. Bought it, Fort Worth, hauled it up here, and started working on it. And it's been sitting here for a while. But what we've got is basically a basic stock-ish rebuild 460 Illuminati camshaft that's in it. Flat tap it. I'm not scared of flat tapping cams like a lot of people. I built the motor plate for the front to maintain the stock coil packs and air conditioning compressor and power steering pump and all that good stuff. Now you can see these aluminum plates here. These are made by a company called Price Motorsport. They're a little mom and pop company. And what those allow me to do is use the later model EFI 460 EFI cylinder heads with an old style 460 intake manifold. And that's part of the project creep. I was going to just run the EFI stuff on it for anyways, and then EFI manifold. And then I ended up getting a different manifold, which is over here on the floor. Torker, an Edelbrock Torker 2 that was set up for injector bungs and all that good stuff. It's got 80-pound injectors in it. Anyways, these plates, I was almost ready to fire this car up, and I started putting water in it, and water started gushing out right here. And it really wasn't the fault of the plate. It was the fault of the installer. I didn't realize that one of the plates was kind of hanging up on the valley. They give you a valley pan to seal off the valley. The plate was hung up on the valley, so when I bolted it down, it left a teeny tiny gap between the gasket and the head here. So, water just started pouring out. And got water in the pan. I drained it all out. Took care of all that stuff. So anyways, that's where we are on Greenbean. I just got these plates back. I sent them back to them back in the COVID days. It was when I ordered these, and they snuck out of the company without these angled holes, like right here by my thumb. The angled holes weren't drilled in it, and they contacted me and said, "Hey, that set of adapters we sent you didn't have the 45-degree holes drilled in it. You can send them back and we'll drill them." Well, at that time, they were already bolted on the engine, and I was like, that's fine. And then now, since I had the little leak and had to pull them off, I sent them back. And I just got them back today. They came back. They fixed them and shipped them back to me, no charge. So good people there. They're kind of a little mom and pop company. They'd make a lot of real specialty 460 stuff. Anyways, that's where we're at on the Greenbean. I'm about ready to put the intake and everything back on it, alternator back on, and I might do some video content. I'd start another playlist of just the Greenbean. It's pretty much ready to fire up once all that goes back on. It's, in case you're not familiar with it, I'll give you the rundown. It's a HT60 turbo. I ran it in my yellow Unanner pickup on a 552 for a while. I don't know the specs on it. It works good. Exhaust comes out, goes through the fender, this way, drops down behind the tire and cuts under the car. Turbo Forums has a build on this. Interior, pretty basic, B&M shifter. Can't see back down in there, even with my light on. Oh, you can't, look at there. There's a Mega Squirt and And there's one of those EFI source igniters right there. I misspoke on the other video when I was talking about that. I do use an igniter on this car to run those factory Ford coils. Got the Mega Squirt one with the extra code. Did some 3D printing for a case for that. But it's all wired up. Everything's about ready to go on this deal. It had 273 gears in it. Let me turn the light back on. 273 gears. I put 327s in it. There's a battery. I had to put the battery in the back. Man, I am not a fan of putting batteries in the back. Not at all. But as you can tell, there is not a lot of room up here for a battery anywhere. This project, it was going to be NA with a E4OD transmission. I mean, it's project creep. It's supposed to have an E4OD transmission. Changed that. Now it's got a 4R70 in it. It was going to be NA. Now we got a turbo. I'm on my second location for the water pump. It's just a standard big block Ford electric water pump that mounts over here now because there's not really room down there on the front of the motor anymore. I've changed the radiator to a bigger radiator, and I haven't even started it yet. Bigger dual pass radiator. I'm on a third shifter that I put in this car just because things change, and really more because I needed the parts off of this one for something else. So I just kind of rated things off of here, and then as I go along, and then end up changing it, changing stuff. Like we want the E4OD, which is right here with a Kleenex box. Where did that come from? E4OD, that's right here. It's going to go, likely going to go into Judd's Galaxy. So we ended up putting a 4R70W in here, which brought its own set of challenges. And we'll see how that works, that smaller deal, smaller transmission. But anyways, I'm kind of rambling. Y'all are probably getting bored. But this is the Greenbean. It's 98 GT. Some days, you just can't get the outro right. And today was the day. Take 3. All right, that does it for today on 30 Minute Mechanic. We got our rails popped off. We spilled gas everywhere. We did a little cleaning. Got all our injectors pulled out. Kind of test fit one of our new injectors just a little bit to make sure it'd go in the hole good. And all that. Gave you a little peek at Greenbean over there. We'll probably do some video series. Maybe not a series, but we'll do some random videos of Greenbean. Now that I got parts for it, I can kind of bounce back and forth between the two cars and do different things. So we saw that. I'm going to get some more brake clean this weekend and clean the intake and the valve covers and clean some stuff over here. Y'all don't want to watch that, I'm sure, because I don't even want to watch that, and I'm going to be the one doing it. So anyways, I guess that does it for today's episode of 30 Minute Mechanic. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, tell your friends. We'll see you next time. Bye.